at our Passover and unleavened bread, first fruit celebration. And today, well, I'm Yvonne Taylor, in case any of you didn't know. And we're going to do a talk today on greens and how and why they're important to us. So, oh, you got to move that thing to yeah, there we go. All right, and God said, "Behold, I have given every herb-bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat." Genesis 1:29, the original diet. The further away we get from the original diet, the more unhealthy we become. So, why do we need to eat our greens? Because eating greens supports our overall health, heart, brain, digestion, immune function, while providing essential vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. Plus, they're low in calories, high in fiber, a lot of vitamins, a lot of phytonutrients. So it makes them nutritional powerhouses that support healthy aging and overall wellness. They are rich in vitamins A, C, K, folate, calcium, magnesium, antioxidants, which help maintain strong bones, enhance immune function, reduce oxidative stress. Greens also contain dietary nitrates, which improve blood flow and may help lower blood pressure. Greens was what saved me from the brink of death. All right. Photosynthesis is the process by which the green plants and other organism plants transform light energy into chemical energy. So they transform sunlight into a lot of really healthy stuff for us. So during this process, light energy is captured and used to convert water, carbon dioxide, minerals into oxygen and energy-rich organic compounds. So we got to have good soil, sunlight, good water. So photosynthesis occurs mainly in the chloroplasts of the plant cells, the leaves, the greens of the plant cells, where sunlight is used to produce glucose and oxygen from carbon dioxide and water. So they take all the carbon dioxide that we breathe out and they turn it into oxygen. So the overall chemical equation for photosynthesis, there'll be a test on this later. The process is essential for life on Earth as it provides the oxygen we breathe and the foundation of the food chain. So our simple little greens are very, very important. All right, health impacts of the greens. The regular consumption of leafy greens has been linked to numerous health benefits. So, if you're not really interested in health benefits, this is not for you. But hey, we are. So, heart health, high fiber antioxidants reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease. And that's like one of the number one killers today in America. Brain health, daily greens may slow cognitive decline and protect memory, potentially making the brain function like it's 11 years younger. Well, who doesn't want to be 11 years younger? Muscle and bone functions. Nutrients in the greens support muscle strength, bone density, essential for aging populations. We all get older every day. Digestive health. Fiber and prebiotics are in greens, promote healthy gut bacteria and regular bowel movement. You got to be regular in taking out the garbage. The garbage gets backed up, we get sick. That's one thing a cancer patient, 100% cancer patients have backed up garbage. Weight management, because it's low calorie, high volume. Greens help increase satiety and stabilize blood sugar and reduce cravings. What you got?
Psalms 104:14, he causes the grass to grow for the cattle and herb for the service of man that he may forth from death.
So good. It was Psalms what?
104:14.
Psalms 104:14. If you're out there, look it up. All right, so what are greens? When we talk about greens, we're talking about the leafy greens. Kale, spinach, collard greens, broccoli sprouts, cabbage, beet greens, watercress, arugula, mustard, and there's more than this. There's actually more than this. This is just kind of a nice list for you um, to understand what the leafy greens are. And sometimes when I make a salad, what I'll do is I'll go to the store and I'll buy like about 5 different greens, and I will chop them up. I'll buy some romaine, I'll buy some bok choy, I'll buy some cabbage. Um, I don't know what kale, spinach. I chop it all up, put it in a big bowl, and it keeps all week. I don't add anything else to it, and then I keep all my little stuff chopped up to make the salad. I just cover it. It's the greens will keep in your refrigerator. They keep for about a week if you don't add anything to them.
Especially if you wrap them either in a cotton towel or a piece of cheesecloth or a paper towel.
I chop all mine up and just stick it in a bowl and I cover it. Cover the bowl and it keeps all week.
You chop the greens ahead of time?
And they stay good all week.
The parsley I've got in there looks fresh.
And you can also, if you live out a ways away from things, you can freeze your greens. Like parsley, like I'll order a bunch from Azure Standard and I freeze it and then put it in my smoothies. Not in a salad. It isn't very good after it's frozen and put in a salad. It's kind of droopy. And iceberg lettuce doesn't count. It's disgusting. There's really not a whole lot in it that's helpful for us. So just save your money and skip it. And
I have seen videos where they make iceberg lettuce from some, I don't know if it's the nitrogen kind of thing cooking they do, but they drop it into a sink of water and they just kind of fold it and mold it. And it comes out looking just like a head of romaine.
sounds like something the Chinese do.
It's not
I was gonna,
It's
I was
not
gonna-
food.
oh, I know. And it sounds like something the Chinese would do because they duplicate everything.
Well, this was laboratory people, rats.
Yes. All right, so support optimal brain function, and who doesn't want to be, completely there for the rest of their lives, right? So a study found that people who ate a lot of leafy greens each day had slower rates of cognitive decline. In fact, leafy greens enabled them with a memory function equivalent to somebody 11 years younger. So organic greens contain high levels of folate, B9. B vitamins facilitate the production of neurotransmitters in the brain. These chemicals transfer messages from the brain to the rest of the body. Folate abounds in leafy green vegetables such as spinach, broccoli, and lettuce. You can also find it in fruits such as lemon, bananas, and melons. So, and the really cool thing is when you're getting your vitamins from like your greens, or your fruit or whatever, they're perfectly balanced. God made them perfectly balanced so that the B vitamins can get into the cells because there's something else there, and so everything is in perfect harmony in that plant that you eat. So whereas when we take vitamins, you have to take this vitamin, but then you got to go over here and take this vitamin because you can't get this vitamin into the cell without this vitamin. Whereas in a plant, boop, God put it all together. All right, so leafy greens reduce belly bloating. Maybe not at first. It kind of has to get the garbage out of the way, but then it'll take it down. So many people struggle with bloating due to diet, hormone imbalance, or gut infections. Anybody heard of SIBO? SIBO's a big deal. Leaky gut, candida overgrowth. There's a lot of these things kind of going on that people have, but how many people do you know? How many church people do you know that eat a lot of leafy greens? There's not a lot. I have a secret that will help you get rid of belly bloating, and it's leafy greens. Leafy greens contains high amounts of potassium. Potassium is a mineral. It's also an electrolyte. This essential mineral keeps optimal fluid balance in our body, okay? And how many older folks have we seen that's on a fluid pill and their ankles are completely swollen, got cankles? And, I've seen people with the fluid so bad that their face You know, like they'll sleep with a CPAP or something at night on, and it indents. So I mean, the edema is all the way in their face. So this essential mineral keeps an optimal fluid balance. A diet high in sodium can trigger or worsen bloating. That is why it's important to keep sodium levels in check by adequate potassium intake. But if we're eating a clean salt, not table salt, which is a chemical, a very toxic chemical, because we have to have sodium. You know, people say, "Oh, you got to be on a low sodium diet." We have to have it. Let me tell you, I've seen some very, very sick people with low sodium. Okay, you've got the sodium. Anybody heard of the sodium potassium pump? You know, that kind of helps your heartbeat. You know, the exchange of the sodium and the potassium to get your heart to go. And if you're low on electrolytes, you can end up with a dysrhythmia in your heart. I've seen people that were low on sodium, and like when you get up to move, and you're using the big muscles. You get up to move, so your heart keeps up with that, so it'll pump harder to keep up with the oxygen and the demands of the body, right? But if you're low on sodium, that can't happen, and that heart rate is low and it stays low, and these people pass out. They just pass out. They've got no energy. They got nothing. So you have to have the sodium, but it needs to be and your sodium, like celery, is high in sodium. But it's a sodium that's in a perfect casing that God put it in. So it's perfect. It says that adult women need 2,600 per day milligrams of sodium and 3,400 for men. And then a single cup of cooked spinach contains a whopping 840 milligrams of potassium. So, and a single cup of cooked spinach is pretty easy to get down. All right. When somebody changes their diet, one of the first things you see the change in is their skin, because your skin, sloughs off every 28 days. So that's the quickest thing. That's the quickest thing you're going to see the change in is the skin. I remember when who's the sisters that played tennis, and one of them had an autoimmune. The Williams sisters, yes. And the one had an autoimmune disease and had to quit tennis for a while. She went on a vegetarian diet. And I was at work one day, and it was on her comeback where she won Wimbledon. And as we walked out, I was like, man, she's a vegetarian. My partner was like, you're so full of it. We come back, I looked her up, and she was a vegetarian. You could see it in her skin. I mean, her skin just glowed. So the beta carotene, a form of vitamin A, it's the precursor to vitamin A, is the plant pigment we normally associate with carrots and other yellow-orange veggies. It's also hiding in your leafy greens. Isn't that cool? Beta carotene can support a youthful glow on your skin and even works from the inside out as a natural sunscreen, protecting your skin from harmful UV rays. Kale is one of the best sources of beta carotene. The stuff that we slather on our skin, for UV protection or whatever, that stuff's so nasty. You shouldn't use it. And does anybody know what causes skin cancer? Everybody says, oh, it's the sun. It ain't the sun. It's the seed oils and the sunscreen. The seed oils we eat the seed oils, nasty things, and then it goes into your skin and it's floating along in your blood, and you're out in the sun, and the sun hits that and it mutates it. That's where your skin cancers come from. We didn't have any of that back like in the 70s. You look back at the pictures of the beach people in the 70s, they didn't wear sunscreen. They were all just out there. They didn't have the dark glasses on either.
I used to wear sunscreen and I would get burned all the time. Even when I go to the beach, I don't wear anything now, and I don't get burned.
If I'm going to be out in the sun for long periods of time, I just put on a long sleeve shirt. Good enough. Yeah, hat, long sleeve shirt. That's it. But yeah, it's what we're eating that's causing the skin cancer. It's not the sun. Adam and Eve should have had it. They were running around half naked for a while. Research shows that cooking, juicing, or dehydrating organic greens like kale, helps your body better absorb beta carotene. So there are some of these greens that it gives you a little more punch if you cook them. So we don't always have to eat raw, and some people can't eat the raw; it upsets their stomach. Yes, those are some good. And the collard greens, if you like wraps, you take the collard green and you shave down the stem, and you put your stuff in there and you tuck the ends in and you wrap it up like a big burrito. Works perfect. They also relieve stress. A big green smoothie is a great way to start your day. It's made with dark leafy greens, which are an excellent source of folate, which we found out earlier. Folate helps your body produce mood regulating happy hormones like dopamine and serotonin. The magnesium in the leafy greens can help support cardiovascular health. So this also helps with, anybody got restless leg or muscle twitching, or like sometimes your eyes will twitch a little bit. That's magnesium. It's your diet. Leafy greens support bone health. Greens supply calcium for optimum bone health. Calcium, can you believe that? They tell us in milk. Milk robs your body of the calcium and gives you osteoporosis. That's what osteoporosis looks like. See here how they're squished all together? So a strong bone, and then here it's blown up. That's osteoporosis. Green leafy vegetables such as broccoli and kale contain high amounts of vitamin K. Vitamin K facilitates bone formation as well as blood clotting. Blood clotting and not clotting, same. Green also keeps blood from clotting. So I think I've got some pictures on here. If not, I can bring them up. Yes, I do. Very next slide. Look at that. Okay, unhealthy blood. Okay, when you have unhealthy blood, you're unhealthy. The blood loses its charge. Each and every blood cell is negatively charged, and they repel each other. When they lose their charge because of our yucky diets, then they start sticking together. And then you can see these little lines in here. That's fibrin in there. And so it's fibrin. It's a clot forming thing. Okay, so if your blood's sticking together, a clot in the brain is a stroke. Clot in the heart is a heart attack. Clot in the lungs is a pulmonary embolism. A clot in one of your limbs is a DVT. So, and that's why you get them. They don't crawl in with the gophers. They crawl in with whatever you're putting in your mouth. So that's the unhealthy, and this is what the healthy blood like. They've kept their charge, and so they're repelling each other. And when they get like this, they can't carry the oxygen. They can't carry the oxygen and the nutrients that's needed around the body. They can't do it because they're all slammed together. There was a guy that came to me, and I looked at his blood, and I told him, I said, if you don't do something about this, I said, you're going to have health problems. And I named off a few. Last year, he was diagnosed with cancer. This is my dad. My dad had COPD. I don't have a before picture because when I arrived at the house, he was so terrible looking and sucking on oxygen and a breathing treatment. It upset me so bad, I couldn't take a picture of him. And I was there for 2 weeks. I said, we're going to feed you a healthy diet. And he goes, well, I don't know about all that. And I said, well, since you're not doing the cooking and you didn't buy the food, I guess you will. And this is what we started out with, which I figured it was going to be way worse than that. But you can see here, it's stuck together. And then these little things in the back, those parasites. Parasites. You can see them. But after 2 weeks of eating well, look, just 2 weeks. His blood separated. His breathing became easier. He didn't have to have as many breathing treatments. He was going at about 10 of them a day. And we had to have a couple, 2 or 3 maybe. And he was wearing his oxygen. And this is what he looked like afterwards. He died of COPD, but and every time I'd go up and he said food doesn't have anything to do with it, even when we showed him. Some people are stuck. Leafy greens support healthy aging. Anybody heard about telomeres? Telomeres, okay? They're the end caps, okay? So aging may be non-negotiable. We all got to do it. We're stuck. But keeping a youthful appearance is optional. You might as well call leafy greens the fountain of youth. Green leafy vegetables help delay the shortening of telomeres. Telomeres are the protective caps on our DNA that shorten with age. Once your body's telomeres are completely gone, the cell dies. And when you have cell death, okay, you're aging and you see it. Broccoli sprouts in particular help preserve telomere length. Eating leafy green vegetables also promotes healthy skin by protecting against harmful UV rays, which we found that out earlier. The beta carotene found in the leafy vegetables converts to vitamin A. Vitamin A helps reduce the appearance of lines and wrinkles. Who doesn't want that? It also smooths your complexion, reduces dullness, and stimulates cell turnover. The result is radiant, clear skin. So this stuff is at the cellular level. And that's where a lot of our problems are, is they start at the cellular level. All right, it improves your inflammatory response. Eating organic greens supports a healthy inflammatory response. This can reduce your risk of developing chronic or autoimmune diseases. Chronic diseases, diabetes, hypertension, and the autoimmune diseases are big now. All that is your body's overloaded with inflammation. And if you can clear that inflammation out, and greens help alkalize the body too. It changes the pH. So it calms everything down. They help regulate glucose levels. Eating a serving of leafy greens with every meal facilitates healthy blood glucose levels. Even one extra serving of leafy green a day can help make a big difference in your blood glucose. It's got a lot of fiber and stuff like that in it, so it's going to help slow down the absorption and and regulate it a little bit, so it's more this way instead of this way. Broccoli and broccoli sprouts are great for helping lower blood glucose. Spinach and kale are also high in vitamin C. Are also leafy greens to incorporate into your diet to promote balanced blood glucose. Now, blood sugar, what should it be? The normal fasting glucose should be between 70 and, they say 70, I say 60 and 100. It's good. No, before that it was 60 to 100. They changed it to 80 to 120 because everybody's glucose levels was going up. And then they went back now to 60 to 100 because they found out that those levels were damaging people. And they do. Yeah, there goes your liver. So after eating, so normal blood sugar levels should be below 140 after you eat 2 hours. So that's how you can tell how well your body's handling things. And then, of course, your hemoglobin A1C, that's a blood test where they take, and it tells you how well you've been controlling your blood sugar levels over the past 3 months. A lot of people don't know well, what's my blood sugar level supposed to be? Huh? 60 to 100. Oh, your A1C should be below, I think it's below 5. Is it 5 or 6, something like that?
But what's the low? Like 6 is high. What's the low? So that's top of what it's supposed to be.
Normally, nobody goes that low because you're eating sugar and stuff all the time. So A1C is not gonna drop out, because if you did, you would be in a.
I'm talking about what's normal. 6 is the high before you start getting towards the pre-diabetic. So
I would have to go back and look at those because I don't do A1Cs all the time.
What it says is a normal A1C level for adults is below 5.7.
So there you go. There's your levels. There's levels. I don't mess with those levels every day, so I don't know. But I had to go out to a call one time, and the lady said that she had chest pain. So I went out there, and this woman was about 500 pounds. And I went in to talk to her and ask her what was going on. She said, I don't feel right. She said, I feel like I got chest pain. So I had the monitor, the cardiac monitor. Well, I told my partner to go get the cardiac monitor. We had not brought it in with us. So I said, go get the cardiac monitor. We'll check this out. And then our ambulance got stolen and we didn't have a cardiac monitor. So, so we checked the woman's blood sugar and her sugar was 300. And I was like, okay, well, I guess it's not a sugar problem. And she goes, what did you say it was? I said 300. She goes, my normal blood sugar is 500. I said, I cannot believe I'm going to do this. Here, have this Coke. Gave her a full sugar Coke, and guess what? She felt better because her normal blood sugar was 500. 300 to her was a crash. I mean, it's crazy, but the body adapts to these higher blood sugars. It's not good because it tears up your kidneys and your liver and, you know, a lot of different things. So, all right, so now we have leafy greens support optimal gut health. If you have a leaky gut, food sensitivities, or autoimmune, eating dark leafy greens is essential to healing. Now, if there's some people out there that are on blood thinners, and some of the blood thinners won't allow you to eat the greens, which is crazy because the greens is what heals you. Yeah, but they make it to where, you know, but now they do actually, you can ask your doctor for a blood thinner that will allow you to eat the greens. I think Plavix allows you to eat the greens. But it's, I mean, it doesn't.
It's because vitamin A, which is very strong in there, is what the actual reversal of blood thinners is. Optimophytin, which is vitamin K and vitamin A, and mostly K actually is very strong in green leafies.
The green, yes.
So you have to tell them not to do that if you want to keep their blood thin.
Yes, but then you're never going to heal. I mean, no.
It depends why you're having to take it.
But it's
a few legitimate reasons, but a lot they use the blood thinners a lot more than they should.
Yes, they do, and they, you know, and I get it. But the thing of it is maybe if we'd been eating that way in the first place, we wouldn't have had to go that direction. And it's sad because so many people out there don't know. They don't know. They have no idea that this could have been so easily prevented. And there's a guy that I work with. He's in his 40s, and he had an aortic aneurysm. It was huge. And he had to go have his chest cracked open. Okay, isn't that kind of crazy? You have your chest cracked open or eat some greens. What? I'm not saying the greens would have saved him. I'm just saying whenever you have problems, and a lot of times you end up with blocked arteries, and if they can't do a stent, they're going to have to crack you open, and they're going to do a bypass. And people say, you know, your diet is extreme. Okay, and cracking your chest open is not extreme, right? I don't know. A recently discovered gene known as TBET gets switched on by cruciferous veggies, such as broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and leafy greens. This gene instructs precursor cells in your intestinal lining to produce innate lymphoid cells that help seal up the tight junctions in your gut, like if you have leafy gut or SIBO or any of those things. And it takes a while to do. You know, you didn't get like that overnight. You're not going to heal. Oh, I had a green smoothie, but no. It takes some time. So the ILCs in your leafy green protect your body against gut infections. It also facilitates a healthy inflammatory response. Not only that, but they also support healthy immune system response. ILCs can support an optimal balance between good and bad bacteria. Shocker, right? God put everything in there. The original diet. Why did he give it to us? I don't know.
He's the manufacturer of our body. What do you think?
Of course.
It's like if you put water in your gas tank.
Exactly. It won't work. So green leafy vegetables tame the toxins. We were talking about this yesterday. So dark leafy greens are expert detoxifiers thanks to the chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is the pigment, the green, and we had that in our water yesterday. That makes them green. Chlorophyll-rich foods bind to heavy metals and toxins in your blood and carry them out of your body. Chlorophyll also supports your liver to facilitate the creation of your body's natural detoxing nutrient, glutathione. Examples of chlorophyll-rich food include spirulina, chlorella, parsley, and alfalfa. If you got stinky underarms, deodorant is a marketing thing. My grandmother was talking to me about it. She remembers when there was no such thing as deodorant. So they found something, called it wrong with you, and come up with a solution. Here, put some chemicals under your arms, right there in that lymph bed. That's great. Yeah, no. But if you drink the chlorophyll, you take chlorophyll every day, it stops that smell. You'll still sweat. It doesn't block the lymph. And you don't stink. Mm-hmm. I love parsley. Parsley's like you get it's a big bang for your buck on that one. Me too. I want to get my parsley going too. Green vegetables boost digestive enzymes. All right, so it said it helped before, with our gut, right? So, obviously it's going to help the digestive enzymes. Helps your body break down and absorb nutrients from our food. As you get older, your body stops making certain enzymes. Leaky gut's one of the biggest culprits of enzyme deficiency. It also is the root cause of inflammation from food sensitivities, chronic stress, genetics, aging. Leafy green vegetables are one of the best foods you can eat to support your digestive enzyme production. And in leaky gut, there's pieces of your food that get off into your bloodstream, and then you'll start being allergic to those foods. People go, I was never allergic to anything. You probably got leaky gut. And it's not like a breakout of hives or anything. Makes you feel terrible. You get arthritis. You get there's all kinds of stuff that happens. They support your immune system. One of the most promising benefits of the leafy greens is the way they support your immune system. Leafy greens, vegetables such as moringa leaf facilitates. Does everybody know what moringa leaf is? Yeah, it's a I don't think it really grows here. It mostly grows more in like.
Tried growing some last year.
Did it go? Did it get it?
Kind of, but it
It's usually like in like South America or something like that, and that's or down Texas, Mexico, that way is where you get it. But you can get it, and the stuff it's awesome. The moringa leaf to help it facilitates a healthy response to oxidative stress. Free radical damage leads to oxidative stress. Left untreated, it can lead to autoimmunity and heart disease. What do we got a problem with? Oh yeah, heart disease and autoimmunity. Studies specifically mention broccoli, arugula, and kale as vegetables that facilitate a healthy immune system response. All right, so raw versus cooked. The answer is yes. Sometimes the cooked can give you more of a certain nutrient, and sometimes the raw can. Sometimes people can't eat the raw because it makes their gut hurt. It can heal, and then they can eat the raw. But yeah, so the answer may surprise you. Eating raw vegetables provides your body with optimal levels of folate and water-soluble vitamins. But on the flip side, they can be harder to digest. The nutrients in the cooked vegetables are much easier to digest and absorb. Cooking can reduce some of the nutrient availability, so it begs the question, is there a way to get best of both worlds? Yeah, you can eat raw and cook. All right. So nutritional deficiencies, they knew this a long time ago. Scurvy, it was vitamin C. Okay, they were out on the high seas and all the sailors went scurvy. Then they started carrying the lemons, limes, oranges, stuff like that with them, and then that didn't happen. Beriberi is a thiamine deficiency. It's also they call it a tropical form of congestive heart failure. And if you have congestive heart failure, what's the first thing they give you? Lasix, furosemide, a fluid pill. What does Lasix cause? Beriberi. Pellagra, it's a deficiency of niacin, vitamin B3, leading to skin, digestive, and neurological problems. Rickets, the most common cause of rickets is lack of vitamin D. See, these are the ones that they know about, and then the stuff that we're now the common ones, the autoimmune, all that. Oh well, you have a deficiency of, I don't know, Xanax, or doesn't make sense. Processed food and pharmaceuticals contribute to your deficiencies. All pharmaceuticals will eat up your magnesium. And what do a lot of people that are on pharmaceutical meds have? They have restless leg and stuff like that. All right, so how can we eat our greens? There's 1,000 different ways. See, there's the kale rolls that I showed you. Okay, this is pesto. Who doesn't love pesto? I love pesto. Just a salad, a green smoothie, a Buddha bowl. I don't even know why they call them a Buddha bowl, but basically it's a plant-based protein bowl. And you got greens in there. You've got, but it's a mixture of all kinds of plant-based protein, and it's kind of like a salad on steroids, sort of. And then, of course, just your greens, like a cooked green and organic only on your greens. You're eating the whole thing. So all that real estate that you're eating, it needs to be pesticide free. So you want the organic only. All right, so where do I get our protein? Well, nobody asks an elephant or a gorilla where they get their protein. These are plant-based animals. Or cows. These are plant-based animals. So it's in our plants. We can get our protein from our plants. Do we have to be a little bit more careful, and pay attention? Yeah, we do. Yeah, that's right. All right, this is the chart that I handed out that everybody has. And basically what it's showing you is that for not very much of the green, you're getting a whole lot of, you're getting a whole lot of nutrition for just not a whole lot. Because see, these here are showing 100 grams. Okay, so she had a question I couldn't answer. We had to look it up. So 100 grams is about 3.5 ounces, which is about, what did we say, quarter cup, half cup? Okay, but in case anybody had the same question you did. So for about a half a cup, 3.5 ounces, this is the amount of nutrition you're going to get. I mean, look at this right here. Carotene, 5,230 micrograms. Yeah. So in just ounces, just 3.5 ounces, which isn't very much. Look at all the stuff. That's a lot. So your greens are one of your best places to get. If you're sick, eat your greens. If you don't want to get sick, eat your greens. All right. Huh?
One of our nutrition doctors, Dr. Phil Collins, was telling me that because you don't get the B12 in plant products, but animal product, animals make it.
Mhm.
We're animals. So he said, in the morning before you brush your teeth, just kind of swish your spit around a little bit and swallow it because it's kind of made in the mouth. And then you,
In the mouth and in the stomach.
yeah. And so you kind of get it that way. And then brush your teeth, drink your lemon juice or whatever you do, coffee.
Yeah, that's a good idea. This is a girl that I grew up with. I call her family. She's not really blood relative, but this is Patty. And Patty came to stay with me for 28 days. And when this was Patty before she got on the plane to come to me. Look at her face. Look at the color. This is right before she went home. Look at the color. Her face changed. And she couldn't get out of a chair when she came. You know, I had to, and she was going 1, 2, 3, and then she'd have to stop and count 1, 2, 3, and I'd have to help her up and stuff. We had the big salad bowl of leafy greens, and I told her we're eating greens with every meal. Okay, and she drank a quart of green smoothie every morning, and that's her green smoothie, right there. And she's eating cookies with no sugar in them. So Patty looked great. Patty could walk. She could get up out of a chair. The edema was gone in her legs. And I came home. It was like 2 or 3 days, you know, with the green smoothie. I came home and she said, I'm peeing a lot. She had a lot of interstitial fluid. Okay, and a lot of times when they're giving you a fluid pill, it's interstitial fluid. That fluid pill is never going to reach that interstitial fluid, and it will not pull it off. You will be dehydrated, and you'll still have the fluid. And then she said, then she even said, she goes, I pooped great big. And I about died. So the extra 5, because she was eating, you know, she was sodas and all this stuff. She was on her own. She's mentally handicapped, and they had her on her own, and she was, you know, eating all the sugar and everything else. And so she came to my house, and we did not diet. We were eating 3 meals a day like she was used to. She liked ranch dressing. I didn't take that away because I would have had a war on my hands. And she detoxed. She detoxed from all her food. And let me tell you what, whoo, that detox was terrible. She got cranky, crabby. She even slapped me. So detox from food is a real thing. And I knew she was detoxing. So I just, both of these women are 80 years old. Your daily choices determine your future circumstances. 80 years old. The thing that's missing from a lot of us, we might eat a good diet, but we're missing this. We're not moving. We're not weight bearing. You know, we're taking a walk. Taking a walk is great. We need to weight bear. And the difference, I had some other pictures, but I couldn't get them. They were on video and stuff. I had some videos of, I have a video of a little 80-year-old lady doing gymnastics on the parallel bars. And then there was a lady, it showed how she transformed, and she was, I can't remember how old she was, probably in her 70s. And she looked a lot like this lady. And she went to the gym, changed her diet, started lifting weights. Should not look 70 years old no more. She looked awesome. So that's what I have for you. So eat your greens. So, and, you know, in keeping with that, we're going to make a little green smoothie over here to show you how easy it is.